Hey guys, happy Friday. A couple days ago, I left off talking about the events leading up to my third manic episode and what kind of transpired during that time. And basically, I was really career driven at the time. And I kind of had this epiphany one day that I didn't want to do the job that my boss was doing. And I had just spent like almost 5 years trying to acquire that. And then all of a sudden realized it wasn't what I wanted. And it was kind of like a trigger for me. And then I also had some family issues that triggered me. And I ended up staying up all night one time on a social media website, and the next day I was pretty much full-blown manic and nothing made sense. I was hanging out with weirdos, as per the usual. I thought it was the end of the world. I always think this when I'm manic. It's like the end of days, and like I believe that like 1,000, 1,000,000%. And I believe that, people can you can tell like if someone's like, I think I can tell if someone's bad, like a bad person or a good person just by looking at them type of thing. And I've noticed that by talking to people that some other people who also experience manic episodes have really similar delusions. Like I would usually have like conspiracy theory type delusions, or like I thought I worked for the FBI, or I thought I worked for the CIA or whatever. And I had like undercover job, and maybe I just wasn't completely conscious of it. It was like they programmed me that way, like really strange thoughts. And I just found out today because I had to go to see my psychiatrist today, which I broke down. Another story for another time. But there are certain types of people who have bipolar that remember nothing from their episodes, nothing at all. And I don't know if that's worse. I mean, I remember some really horrible things and they haunt me all the time, but I don't know what it would be like to not remember, to spend a year of my life whacked out of my mind and then not remember any of it. Although actually I do kind of know what that's like, because when I was young and they threw me in my first mental hospital when I was like 17, there was a whole month of my life that I don't even remember. Like they had me so doped up on medication that I don't remember any of it. And that was crazy. I remember, well, actually, I don't remember any of it other than like 2 or 3 memories, like moments. But other than that, it's just a blank. But yeah, so it was really crazy, and it lasted I think about 6 months, and I eventually got help. A friend of mine, I kept showing up at my job, demanding to speak to the owner or whoever, and they would just call the cops on me every time I showed up. And luckily I had a really close friend of mine help me get on Family Medical Leave Act. I didn't know what was going on. He just basically forced me to sign the paperwork, and I did, and I ended up being safe from not being fired legally. So I managed to keep my job, but I kept showing up there and they kept calling the cops on me. And then one day before they called the cops, the receptionist called my friend when I showed up versus the head of the company and the IT manager who was pretty much running things at that time. She told a friend of mine. So my friend came and got me and took me to the hospital, and they ended up admitting me to UCLA hospital on 5150. And I ended up spending, I think, 3 weeks there. And when you're put in a mental institution like that, they can hold you for 24 hours without if they consider you a danger to yourself or others, they can keep you there, and they can extend that to 3 days. They can extend that to a week. They can extend that to 2 weeks if you're non-compliant, like you don't take your medication and whatnot. And I never did, because I didn't think I had a problem. I had never been treated for it. My family was never really involved in my mental health. It was too kind of scary and too stigmatized for them to deal with. So they held me there. And another reason why I didn't want to take the medication was because of the horrible allergic reaction that I had. I was deathly afraid of taking medication. So anyway, I actually ended up having to go to court to get myself out of there. And I was still completely out of my mind when they let me out. But it's very hard to keep someone against their will. And it's a very bothersome topic for me, because I really have no rights or protection if something like this were to happen again. And I think I'll talk more about that next time. Sebastian, say bye. Say bye. Thanks, guys.